Good morning. Here is the news at 11 on Premier FM 93.5. First, the headlines. Nigeria records significant progress in fight against malaria. Federal government moves retaliatory measures against South Africa. Court upholds impeachment of former Kenyan deputy president. What happened this day in history? Find out in our Let's We Forget segment. Heart of the matter is on the need to checkmate the spread of fake alarm. You can track us on www.radionigeriabana.gov.ng, X, Instagram, and Facebook at PFM935 Ibadan. I am Dayo Adenuga. And now to the stories. Federal government says Nigeria has recorded significant progress in the fight against malaria, with no state currently classified as a high transmission area. The coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Professor Ali Pate, disclosed this at a forum in Abuja. Represented by the Director General of the National Health Insurance Authority, Dr. Kelechi Ohiri, the minister said 27 states are now classified as moderate transmission areas, while 9 states and the Federal Capital Territory fall within the low transmission category. He attributed the achievement to sustained investment in malaria prevention and treatment, strategic partnership, community engagement, and dedication of health workers across the country. According to Professor Pate, the federal government has developed a national malaria strategic plan for 2025-2030 aimed at reducing malaria mortality by 50% in line with the World Health Organization 2030 target. The federal government says the retaliatory measures against South Africa are being considered as fresh xenophobic attacks on Nigerians continue to escalate. Minister of Foreign Affairs Ambassador Bianca Odumegu Ojukwu stated these while addressing newsmen at the presidential villa, Abuja. Ambassador Odumegu Ojukwu said Nigeria was reviewing its options in response to what she described as persistent targeting of Nigerians. The minister also rejected claims by some South African authorities that many of those seeking evacuation were illegal migrants, describing the allegation as false and misleading. Many Nigerians have been harassed, attacked, and displaced in recurring waves of the anti-foreigner violence in South Africa. Nigeria has expressed readiness to leverage the €59 million West Africa Sustainable Ocean Program to intensify efforts against illegal, unreported, and unregulated fishing and strengthen the sustainable management of its marine resources. The Minister of Marine and Blue Economy, Alhaji Adegboyega Oyetola, disclosed this during the meeting with the European Union Ambassador to Nigeria, Mr. Guter Mina, in Abuja. Alhaji Oyetola said the meeting focused on deepening cooperation between Nigeria and the European Union on maritime security, ocean governance, and the sustainable development of marine resources. The minister described illegal fishing as a major threat to Nigeria's marine ecosystem and coastal livelihoods, warning that the practice continues to deplete fish stocks, undermine food security, and weaken the economic well-being of communities that depend on fishing activities. According to the minister, illegal, unreported, and unregulated fishing poses broader risk beyond environmental degradation, affecting national security and economic stability. In his remarks, the European Union Ambassador to Nigeria, Mr. Guete Amina, reaffirmed the European Union's commitment to strengthening maritime cooperation with Nigeria and supporting regional efforts aimed at ensuring safer and more sustainable oceans. The renewed hope agenda of President Bola Tinubu has received a boost in the southwest zone of the country, with the inauguration of new executive of the Renewed Hope Empowerment Association, ROPE. The event was held at Google Arena, Papa Airport Road, Alakia, Ibadan. Members of the executive include Chief Sunday Obiseson, who doubles as National and Lagos State President, Mr. Kaode Agbaje, who also doubles as National Secretary and Chairman, Osun State, Chief Taiwo Uweye, as Ekiti State Chairman, Mr. Komija Yola, Oyo State Chairman, Mr. Oyeleke Olabisi, Ogun State Chairman, and Mr. Akimbobola Akin as Ondo State Chairman. In an address, the National President, Chief Sunday Obiseson, said ROPE is an association with presence at the 774 local government areas in Nigeria with focus on national development. Chief Obiseson, who said President Bola Tinubu has relentlessly worked towards repositioning Nigeria, encouraged the new executive to arm themselves with 5 core agenda of the association.
You are now the field marshal of empathy. You are the hands that will lift the broken. Your leadership will not be measured by the comfort of your office, but the number of lives you transform in the trenches of your different states.
Earlier, the Oyo State Chairman of the association, Mr. Komija Yola, urged all and sundry at the grassroots to support the development drive of President Bola Tinubu's renewed hope agenda. You're on to the news at 11 on Premier FM 93.5 from the stable of Radio Nigeria. This day in 2021, President Muhammad Buhari received the first indigenous Android smartphone known as ITF Mobile. Same day in 2023, Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, Godwin Emefiele, was suspended indefinitely. And now to the rest of the bulletin. A Kenyan court has upheld the 2024 impeachment of former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, barring him from holding public office. 3 High Court judges dismissed Gachagua's claims, including that the impeachment process was politically biased against him. The court, however, found that the Senate violated Gachagua's right when it failed to adjourn after he had fallen ill during the proceedings. The court maintained that impeachment stands, but awarded him 50 million shillings in compensation for the violation. And according to reports, Gachagua was not in court when the ruling was handed down, but his legal team vowed to appeal the verdict. The Israeli military has issued a new evacuation order for the southern Lebanese city of Tyre, a day after Iran called for attacks on Lebanon to stop. The military urged residents to move north of Zarani River. Meanwhile, an Israeli spokesman said the country was preparing to act forcefully, accusing Hezbollah for breaching the ceasefire. And now sports. Joy Omewa scored twice and substitute Azizat Oshuala added a third as the Super Falcons of Nigeria defeated the Tarenga Lions of Senegal 3-0 in the second international friendly at the Remo Stars Stadium, Ikenne, Ogun State. The victory completed a double over Senegal following the Falcons' win in the first friendly. The Super Falcons are preparing for the Women Africa Cup of Nations finals in Morocco, scheduled to hold between 25th of next month and 16th August this year. Shun indiscriminate dumping of refuse to prevent flooding. The need to checkmate the spread of fake alarm forms the basis of today's Heart of the Matter. It is written by Fojiet Kajim of our Current Affairs unit.
No doubt, Nigerians are going through one of the toughest security periods in the history of this country. There is a category of Nigerians making the bad situation worse as fake news vendors and social media alarmists who manufacture terrified information for traffic and likes and financial gains. For instance, the Lagos State Police Command debunked reports claiming that bandits had invaded communities including Ibejuleki, Imota and Ukiafu, targeting schools and children while Ogun State Police Command arrested a man identified as Johnson Ele for allegedly producing and circulating a false video claiming that kidnappers and bandits were operating on Owode Idiroko Road. Also, Oyo State Police Command recently arrested 2 suspects over alleged deliberate circulation of false information claiming that bandits invaded Lamini community in Ido local government area of Oyo State and killed 6 persons. These incidents are not isolated ones, as they are gradually becoming a pattern which is creating a public fear and has become a monetizable community with their consequences. While some of these people will claim they meant no harm, others will issue apologies after the act, which cannot reverse a cardiac arrest on breaking a leg sustained in a stampede or returns several hours of child's school day lost to a stampede. It is becoming a disturbing trend for some people who raise false alarm by sharing unverified and misleading information, especially videos of incidents that occurred years ago in other countries, and presenting them as recent events. To guard against false alarm, it is pertinent that anyone found guilty should face the full wrath of the law, while the culture of sharing first and verifying later must change. Nigeria Police and the Department of State Security Service Media and Public Affairs Unit should be proactive by officially debunking false alarm on social media within 30 minutes of such dissemination. While there is real and fake bandits, the security agencies should deal with the former with weapons, intelligence, and sustained coordinated military operation that go beyond press releases, while the latter should be arrested, prosecuted, and convicted to deter others. The media regulating agencies should insist on media professionalism in order to avoid using them as instruments for the spread of propaganda. Ministry of Information and the National Orientation Agency (NOA) should intensify campaign against fake news, particularly as it concerns national security.
That script on the need to checkmate the spread of fake alarm was written by Fauziat Kazim of our Current Affairs Unit. It was read by Remy Omolola. To end the news at 11 on Premier FM 93.5 from the stable of Radio Nigeria, here again are today's top stories. The Coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Professor Ali Pate, has said Nigeria has recorded significant progress in the fight against malaria, with no state currently classified as a high transmission area. The federal government has said retaliatory measures against South Africa are being considered as fresh xenophobic attacks on Nigerians continue to escalate. A Kenyan court has upheld the 2024 impeachment of former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, barring him from holding public office. For any information, contact us on these numbers: 08023345294 and 08032429552, or visit us at number 617 Jibo Crescent in Yagogo Quarters, Oba Debingwe Road, Old Baggy, Dugbe. You can track us on www.radioNigeria.ibadan.gov.ng, X, Instagram, and Facebook at PFM935 Ibadan. That ends the news at 11 on Premier FM 93.5, which was edited by Oluwakayode Banjo. I am Dayo Adenuga. Thank you for listening.